What is going on, team? I've been kind of, um, I don't know. I've not been visible on social media in this capacity in a few days. But I'm doing well, and I hope you're doing well. Um, I kind of wanted to come through with some thoughts, but in a different manner, and I don't know if I'll even post these to Facebook. LinkedIn is like or I said LinkedIn. I got a lot on the brain. YouTube is kind of like my war room, so to speak. I don't necessarily have a huge following on YouTube, so I can kind of put things out that I don't necessarily feel comfortable putting out elsewhere. But I am working on an idea right now, and it's an idea. But I've had some fantastic experiences in the dating world over the last like few years. Fantastic. And by fantastic, I mean terrible. No, not terrible, but in order to actually experience the dating world, you have to kind of change your perspective. And you have to open yourself up to disappointment to truly feel the emotions that you're actually searching for, or quote unquote wanting. um and I feel that so often we do not expose ourselves to those feelings. I was thinking to myself recently, and talking to a good friend of mine, and I'll leave his name out of it unless he wants to join me. um but in giving advice about somebody being in a relationship, and when I say in a relationship, I mean even the courting phase. In giving advice in that instance, the courting phase, the dating phase, the engagement phase, the marriage phase, whatever the phase of a romantic relationship would be, the advice that I would blanketly give, all advice lacks context, is you have to be willing to experience the quote unquote worst hurt in order to experience the best love. And if you're not ready to put yourself in a position to potentially experience that, then I don't know if you're ready for a relationship. And I don't know anybody that shares that. I'm sure it has been. I mean, because I say all good advice is just somebody who read a book before you. There are no real new problems. All these problems are recycled. And that's why it's so important to pay attention to our surroundings, pay attention to books, pay attention to podcasts, experiences of other people. I'm excited right now. I'm talking fast. I gotta slow down, because that is how we navigate a little bit more favorably in this confusion we call life, the chaos of life, if you will. And I have a great quote on that, but for the sake of time and the fact that I don't have it with me, but the quote goes along the lines of saying chaos is just structure. Chaos is a situation where structure has not been created yet. I don't know if I'm even doing it justice, but that's it. So, getting back to what I was saying about the blanket advice, and we remember what that is. Did I say it yet? You have to be willing to experience the worst hurt in order to be fulfilled by the best love. And I also read recently that heartbreak, let me take a step back. I'm starting to read all of these books and hear about all these teachings where these negative emotions, negative behaviors, just negativity in general, we need to change the perception of. And heartbreak, as an example, is an emotion that nobody readily wants to experience. Nobody looks forward. Nobody's like, oh man, it's been a while since I've experienced some heartbreak. Let me go after some. But heartbreak is actually no different from me or you working out. If you want your bicep to get bigger, you have to work out, right? And the only way to work out is to lift some weights. But once you lift those weights, those muscles start forming and your bicep hurts. If you're doing it right, right? It hurts because it's like, man, like what are you doing to me right now? Like I'm not used to these routines and these contractions. So like the next day or the day after, your bicep is hurting. So it's the same way with heartbreak. It's working out your emotion, your ability to love. You're exercising that muscle, if you will. And in exercising that muscle and experiencing all the emotions that are encompassed with love, like it's gonna hurt. But that's the only way you build it up. That's the only way you increase your ability to be loved and to love. How about that? I feel like I'm dropping knowledge today. So, with this idea that's coming, that's all I can give you. But I'm pretty excited about this idea. And I think I have a lot to share. I think I have a lot to share that can be beneficial to others. And that's why I started publishing these vlogs, because I feel like if we can live vicariously through one another and not bump our head on the same 2x4 just in a row, just visualize a line of all of us going through life, and there's a low hanging 2x4 and each person is like doom, doom, doom. like at what point do the people behind you say like, man, like they just knock themselves out on that 2x4, let me get out of this path or let me duck, So I mean, like, let's do better at living vicariously through others and paying attention to what's coming, paying attention to how we make people feel, paying attention to one another. And it's difficult with all the distractions that we have. It's difficult with all the feelings that we hold inside. It's difficult, but we must be more cognizant of our actions, reactions, and everything else in between, and how that affects other people and indirectly affects self. So until next time, hopefully I stayed on the rails, but hey, what are the rails for? Talk to you soon. Until next time.